challenging.
Oh hi, it's the next day. Let's go to YouTube and smoke a joint for a day.
Other mods, and if you don't spend as much time on Lover's Lab like I do, I swear to God, I'm not lying, you won't understand what the is going on half of the time. So, unlike Skyrim Mods Weekly, the series will be less of me explaining to you what's going on and more of me finding out what's going on. And I apologize that I'm not a goddamn mod genius, okay? They're hard, for God's sake. Somebody help me! Half of these mods aren't tested, there's no comments, barely anybody uses these mods. I'm usually like the first, and I still don't know how to use Lab. Anyways, this will be fun. Grab your popcorn, buckle your seatbelts, and let's see what kind of sick, twisted shit we'll find today. So just about nobody asked who that girl being tied up was in the last episode, but I thought I would introduce her anyways. This is Myra, the Taffy Dragon, the first companion mod of the series. Congratulations, Myra, you don't want to know what's coming up next. So I headed over to Ingol Barrow to find her, and what I loved about Myra compared to other Lover's Lab mods is that she actually wore a shirt. That's kind of hard to come by sometimes. And not just any shirt, but a custom-made mashup made by several different talented mod authors. And even a custom rapier called Sincera that does extra damage to undead. And get this, custom animations for said rapier. I don't think I've ever seen a follower come with its own animations, but that's why I love Lover's Lab. But wait! Her body is custom made. Well, actually, that one's not a surprise. That's usually the only thing people customize. And I've gotta say, I think I'm going to jail. I'm kidding. It's just a lot straighter and flatter than what you would expect from a website like this. Opening Myra's inventory reveals several new pieces of information about her. What she was doing at the time you found her, her entire backstory, which reveals another crucial custom component to Myra, her tattoo, her previous occupation, and the what of why she was made, apparently Forever Free logos. A lot of them. Now, Myra is just a girl and isn't very proficient with her weapon, but she apparently has one unique ability, and that's T-posing in the middle of a battle. Yeah, I think that's the ability, just maybe not installed correctly. Next up, I found a mod called Hagraven Ritual. I tried to find out what this mod was about. It was an X-Delta More commission mod. I have no idea what the that is. Did you remember the shamanic ceremony in AFS? I don't remember that, and I don't know what AFS is. So far, this has been very helpful. To begin the mod, I spoke to an innkeeper. Hi, do you hear any new rumors?
Sure, witches in Hagraven seem more active recently. Some people says a pack of them established a sabbath somewhere in the rift.
So I headed to the Reach, and not the Rift, because that is a lying cut. Where I found the hidden ritual clearing. I activated the stone and, yep. Remember how I told you it was nice that Myra had a shirt on? In the middle, an enormous glowing tree, surrounded by Forsworn, surrounded by the woods. None of them had anything to say except for Maiden Raven Ambroisi. She explained that by bringing her a sacrifice, I would be able to receive the blessings of the old gods. This could be gold, or in Lover's Lab fashion, a slave. It'll find a sacrifice candidate, which should be your follower. Hey, I just met you. I'm gonna have to sacrifice your body to the old gods for a blessing. Now you can decide whether or not you'll participate, your follower, both, or neither. I chose both, but that didn't work, so neither. And then it began. Oh God. Oh no. No, stop. Stop. I chose Myra. I volunteered her as the sacrifice. That's the wrong girl. And then, boom! Spirit animals. And oh my gosh, they were so adorable. Oh, look at you. Look at that. Okay, that's a dick. That is a dick. Okay, alright. What do you guys do? Oh, alright. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Alright. Oh, Myra, close your eyes. That's not family friendly. This is a Christian channel, alright? Myra, let's get the out of here. But hey, I still got some super overpowered buffs, which apparently all block 25% more damage with my shield, but say totally different things. Very cool. Very, very cool. Next up, I found a mod called Bodybuilders. A mod that would apparently shape my body depending on what skills I possessed and what I put inside of it, which could be food, water, or an array of potentially phallic objects. So I ran to the kitchen and picked up every piece of food I could find. Probably stuffed it down my throat, went to sleep, and checked my stomach. Nothing. So I ate 100 sweet rolls and 100 mammoth steaks, adding up to over 200 pounds of food, and according to the MCM, I should have been at max weight. But I wasn't. I even forced my body to update, reset body morphs, and updated globals, whatever that even meant. I even forced skill increases. I slept 1 million hours. I even took off my clothes just to be sure, and nothing. At this point I said if my body won't change, maybe NPCs' bodies will. So I toggled all the settings and headed to solitude. Bigger legs, bigger boobs, anything, please. Why? Now at this point I probably should have given up, but I had spent hours staring at my character's boobs hoping something would change. I wasn't about to let that time go to waste. Boom! Notice something different here? So I just built each of the body slide presets he used for each individual skill. Pretty much all schools of magic would increase the size of your memories. In case you didn't know, that's where magic is stored, according to many mods I've tried for Skyrim, with one exception being Restoration, which would give me hips capable of birthing quintuplets, which I guess makes sense because restoration brings in life. Just like women's hips, training in two-handed added thickness all around, especially in the upper areas. The blacksmith body was almost one-sidedly top-heavy, with arms bigger than mine in real life. I noticed skills like sneak and pickpocketing, which required lots of bending down, turned Alex into a pair, with thunder thighs capable of crushing small children. Pickpocket gave me Kim K's ass, and the arousal body, the result of using way too many mods featured on the series, would turn you into a literal hourglass. I guess that's figuratively you becoming more of a sloop. Eating more food would cause the loss of curves and the transformation into a fridge. Kind of like Myra. Oh! Burn! Sorry, Myra. Eating even more would turn you into that Slurm King from Futurama. Keep in mind, you're not just gonna become a Slurm King. These are the final stages of very specific skills, so you're more likely to be a mix of all of them to some smaller degree. I wouldn't know this mod doesn't work for me, because I'm a goddamn f***ing idiot, and I can't get mods to work, even though I've been doing the same thing for like 8 years. Alright, fellas. If you don't want Skyrim potentially ruined for you for the rest of your life, you better get the f*** out of this video right now. And if you're 12, run for the hills. Run for High Rock. Run away from High Rockgar, because we're about to ruin possibly some of your favorite characters. This is
Tell the join.
Slab Dragons. To begin the mod, I headed to the third of the world. I was expecting Parthenax, but to my shock, there was also Alduin. I could walk up to him and have an actual conversation. It felt so real and familiar until I read this line. You will tend to my more carnal needs as I command. Slave and entertain your master. Then there were some lines that I'm not sure I could read out loud on YouTube. Here's a safe one. I will get to ride you, but not the way you expect. Hey, you know what? I wouldn't mind going for a ride on Alduin's. Oh! Oh! Stop! Stop, Alduin! No! This isn't what she meant by the Dragonborn comes! Oh, okay, never talking to Alduin again. You know what? Alduin's a bad dragon. Parthenax probably be much better. He's a good guy, right? So, are you happy being up here all the time? Now, apparently I can set him to be equal or to be dominated. Whatever that means. I'm 12. Anyways, apparently Parthenax is a basement dweller virgin, and for whatever reason you want to help him out. And then he summarizes the entire essence of the series in one sentence.
Just because you can do a thing does not mean you should.
One thing leads to another. You hear a couple of lines from Parthenax that you wish you didn't.
Yes, come closer, my pet. You're nothing but a plaything for me. Then you will feel me.
You see a couple of things you never thought you'd see Parthenax doing. No, Parthenax. Been through so much together, buddy. I saved your life, buddy. I saved your life. Ah! Oh! Ah! You see, the difference between the Nexus and Lover's Lab is that on the Nexus, they're still struggling to make flower-picking animation, and on Lover's Lab, they've already managed to animate a dragon to do unspeakable things with his tongue. And finally, there was Odaving, whom I can now recruit as a follower. Follow me. You seem a bit distracted about something. Well, that was unexpected. Anyways, apparently he's really into you and he asks you the same. And clearly your response is to strip it Now you come back. Okay, I see how it is. Odoving? Odoving? Where are you going? Odoving? Odoving?
How can I serve you?
Anyways, unlike both Alduin and Parthenax, who have both violated me dearly, Odoving is capable of eating you. I think it's something called Vor. Unfortunately, or fortunately, the animation didn't work for me. So, luckily for you, I will not subject you to those sights today. And that is it for this video. Uncensored version on Patreon. I'm sorry once again for only 4 mods. Welcome back to the dark side of Skyrim.
Whoa.
Last time we sold Lydia's milk to the milk market economy, where Nord milk was high demand in Whiterun. So it's pretty safe to say that nobody's showing up for this one. You know, as always, I want to kind of ease you guys into it with some simple mods like the Dora Jewelry Collection that you can pick up on the 2nd floor of the Riverwood Trader. And there's about 42 earrings, 21 necklaces, and 24 circlets. They scream luxury, even the box featuring Dora the f***ing Explorer. So if you really give a f***, you can get a matching earring, necklace, circlet in one mod. But wait, it's missing one more kind of accessory. Rings. Not too far from this app 8.0 plus 1.0.0. But aren't they just risky? Shut the hell up, Jimmy. You understand. Zaz is the author. HDT implies physics. It's an add-on for the Zaz Animation Pack 8.0, and it's the first version. These things aren't very important. You see, Zab previously only had wrist.
Let's pause the gas. Head home, head to bed. Wake up in the morning. Another day here in Night City, dude. Yeah, buddy. Head to bed. Head to the crib. Here we are. Hey, boss. Hey, boss. Hey. My room. Here we are. Head to bed. So in the morning, let's head out. Let's go to here. Press
The model
play.
actually calculate based on
How we
many
doing
factors
today?
how much money you'll earn. Now this mod's absolutely incredible, but sometimes it feels like we're just all f***ing each other back and forth. It's like you me, so I you, and then someone me for you, and then it's just like way too much of it. I mean, I'm all for. I mean, I'm not for. It's disgusting, and I think you can turn off a lot of these options, leaving only the normal outcomes, and still have a pretty decent normal defeat mod that you can show to your parents. But probably not. Next up, we have a unique, lore-friendly experience
Yeah,
to correct
buddy.
one of the biggest mistakes you can make when starting Skyrim, and that's choosing male. If there's anyone still stuck playing a male character, there's hope for you yet, and it's called YPTG, a simple sex change quest. To begin the process, simply speak to Dagain in the Silverblood Inn. To begin the vanilla miscellaneous quest of stealing the Debella statue. Heading to the inner sanctum of the Temple of Debella, you'll be caught by Orla, who points you to Hamel. I was curious about the temple.
Unfortunately for you, we don't allow men into the inner sanctum. You have committed a breach and must pay the penalty.
What is the
Bitch,
penalty?
please.
Normally, a quick death.
But maybe
All
there's
men,
more to
all
your
women
fate.
are
Maybe
programmed
Debella
to
wants
listen
make
to the
some use
men.
of you. First, though,
So,
we'll have to get you
bitch,
cleansed. Take off
shut
your
up.
clothes. Very well, off they come. What a handsome body you have. A great loss for us sisters, but Debella's will must be done. Wait, what do you mean loss? Silence, oh great Debella. I ask you to cleanse this heretic, make him whole.
teach her mysteries and free him from his sins again.
And just like that, you've chose the superior sex. At least for the purposes of this mod series. Now, let's put your beautiful new body to use. Yes, we shall.
If you can travel there and retrieve our young Sybil, your transgression will be forgiven.
Wait, what? I didn't sign up for this. Then it leads into the vanilla quest, The Heart of the Bella, essentially rescuing the Sybil of Fiotra. And by doing so, you're cleansed and can continue your journey to becoming a woman. Debella has changed her physical
Oh,
form,
thanks.
but there's
Why
more
would I
to being a
wanna
woman than
become
the
a
beauty of
woman?
her body. Really,
What program to listen to
Part
men?
of being a woman is knowing how to
Fuck
love.
that.
And so she sends you to
I would rather
Dinya
be a
Babu
man,
to
so
begin
the
the
girls
book of
can
love.
listen to
I had a
me.
feeling you would come. You're more
Not
beautiful than
other way
imagined,
around.
strange and wonderful, and so full of love. Beautiful but dangerous, pretty but sharp, a cunning and masculine mind. Whoa, Dinya, Dinya, what the fuck? Anyways, I have a walkthrough of the Book of Love that none of you even watched, and after finishing it, you become a full-fledged woman, and you can ask her questions. Like, what if I get pregnant? Or do I have to men now? Alright, come on, let's wrap this up. Let's get to the testing the body part, you know what I'm saying? Before you go, child, let me ask you again, how do you feel? I'm nervous, but I'm ready. I am a woman of Skyrim. I wish you luck, and I hope you'll visit us again soon. What? No, I did all of that. I thought you were gonna teach me more. Like how a vagina works. Where's the G-spot? I thought we were gonna go for a test run. Anyways, this mod turned out to be a lot more normal. Very well written, heartwarming, sweet, and feel good. That unlike every other mod didn't divulge. Hi everybody, welcome back to the dark side of Skyrim, a series in which we delve deep into Lover's Lab, uncovering a treasure cove of Skyrim mods that you might want to consider downloading on a separate disposable hard drive. All for the purpose of course, enhancing society in some undiscernible way as of yet. This one's a weird one, a very, very weird one. So shut your door, bust out your genitals, put on some earbuds, because it's about to get really, really weird. Now, who remembers the very first mod we ever covered on this series? You know, the one that allowed you to have intercourse with Myra from the quest A Night to Remember. Would you like to take it in the back?
Okay, just this once.
Oh, just this once! All while turning her into a bird person. Well, that bird race is from the mod Bad Dogs Birds. Mod that adds 5 brand new bird races. Raven, Eagle, Griffin, Songbird, and Vulture. They're all customizable, and if you have certain mods, very, very customizable. And you even get like 7 wings to I have too. Now, not only do the textures and meshes look fantastic, absolutely sublime, but they also have their own unique pieces. They're fully compatible with the most advanced penis mod in the world, Shlons of Skyrim, where you can set the distribution of sizes for each bird. I mean, we all know ravens pack it real big, so why not make it immersive? Now, unlucky for you, or lucky for you, I couldn't get the penises to show up. The strip club. There's even a futa category, whatever that is. I'm 12. Usually involves lots of air humping, and an object category, where the actor seemingly pulls things straight out of her ass, including whole entire swing sets, gynecologist appointments, jail cells, using a sword to hump the air, and maybe my favorite pastime, schlicking it while reading a book. You can't make this shit up, fellas. Next up, we have an armor mod that may require some warning. How many of you don't enjoy tentacles or are not okay with tentacles?
I don't really care.
Okay, cool. You're all liars. Okay, I'm kidding. But seriously, tentacle alert, don't say I didn't warn you. This is C5 Kev's animated tentacle parasite armor. But why? Why, God, why? Because this is Lover's Lab. If you don't feel uncomfortable browsing it, then they haven't done their job correctly. I mean, sure, you could have gone your entire life without seeing this, but where's the fun in that? The tentacles seem to be coming from the back off of this enormous parasite running down your spine. How did it get there? Well, you can find out in a very disturbing quest in which this mod is a part of. It gets very close to certain areas that are only viewable on my Patreon. In fact, almost everything is pretty much out there, which is why I chose to play as an Argonian. Now, do
Everyone, this is Cassie from Texas, coming at you with
So
another
joined.
Storytime video. As usual, please be sure to click that subscribe button and like this video to make this video grow. As always, thanks for coming here, and let's get started. Growing up in a relatively small town, everyone kind of knew everyone. Everyone went to the same grocery stores, everyone attended the same church, everyone went to the same school too. You get the point. Now, since I grew up on the farm next to Dean, who's my childhood friend, everyone kind of pushed us to date. And since we didn't think any better, we just shrugged and went out together. Fast forward to 2 years later, and his dad decides to move back in with the rest of the family. He was recently serving in the military and decided to come back to live with Dean and their older sister. Dean's mom died when we were all in high school, but since Dean's sister was almost 10 years older, she quickly picked up the slack and became in charge of the family right away. We all grew up very tight-knitted. If I'm being quite honest, I was never in love with Dean, but it just felt like the next step in life. Everyone had expected us to date, so I kind of went along with it. He was sweet, friendly, and a good boyfriend. But he doesn't make my heart race. He never did. When we have sex, it was the blandest thing ever. We've dated for about 3 years now, and I knew the moment I laid eyes on his dad, it was it for me. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was a hot summer day. Since Dean had a huge pool at his place, there was no way I wasn't going to go there when the weather was almost 100 degrees. Dean never liked the pool, opting to rather sit around reading a book while I laid in the pool. After finishing my laps, I reached out my mind to come out when a hand grabbed me, helping me out. Thanks, D. I stopped mid-track when I opened my eyes after coming out of the pool to come in contact with the most gorgeous blue eyes I've ever seen. They weren't Dean's eyes. No, it was his dad. "Hello there, you must be Cassie, Dean's girl," he said with a smile that stole my breath away. Hi," I stuttered and then frowned to myself. I have never been the shy type around anyone. Suddenly, I felt like I should have worn my 2-piece push-up bra bathing suit instead of the 1-piece. His eyes never left mine. It could be my mind playing tricks on me, but I swore he looked at me like I was the most beautiful girl on the planet. It was almost as if we were in a trance with one another. That was until he cleared his throat, letting go of my hand. I instantly felt the need to take his hands into mine again.
Can I join?
What was wrong with me? My name's Owen Rain. You can just call me
go
Owen.
ahead.
I'm not too big on the polite name calling. Decided I needed to relax more now that I'm being just your regular old farmer. He introduced himself.
So what's your name?
I loved how deep his voice was. I guess you'll be seeing me a lot
What's
more.
yours?
I had totally
V.
forgotten about it.
How
was I
do you,
supposed to survive
Kirsty?
that? I nodded
6
shyly as
years
a strand of
old.
hair fell into
What
my
about
face.
you?
Before I could push it away, he does it for me and
23.
laughed. "You're quite shy, aren't you, Cass?" I
Don't go
swallowed
out,
nervously,
Kirsty.
hating how he can render me speechless
So,
without trying.
baby.
Yeah, I mean... Cassie! I snapped my attention back to Dean, who was coming back out from the house.
Someone
I
donate me
smiled
to
as Dean bent
you.
down to kiss me in front of his dad,
I'm a sex
and grinned up
bot.
at his dad while holding me around my waist.
I do
I see you met
anything
the
that
love of
you
my life.
ask me to
Cassie.
do.
Cassie, this is my dad. She's prettier than how you explained her. Sean
God
laughed.
damn.
"Okay, now let's go eat."
I wonder
After Sean and I
who
were
would
introduced to one another, I
donate me
slowly
a
started
sex
to get to
bot.
know him better. I ended up not making an embarrassment out of myself by being
I
able to
don't
hold a
know.
conversation with him. I thought I would have
They
nothing in common with
programmed
him, but I was so
me
wrong. It
To
was like he
be
knew me
6
better than
years
Dean did.
old and
And I hated how fast I
they
was falling for
programmed
someone that I knew
me.
would never look at
My
me like
name
that either.
is Kirsty.
One day, Dean went to have a guys' night out with
Fair
his
enough.
friend and didn't tell me.
I know.
So when I came over, Sean decided to cook us dinner. He made my favorite
Love you,
Reuben
Daddy,
sandwich, which
Master.
was the best meal ever, along with a
Love
few
you
alcoholic
too, my
drinks too, since
stanky
it's
hoe
Friday.
sex bot.
After about 3 or 4 drinks, I
Who's
felt like
my
I couldn't
hoe?
keep my attractiveness
I
a
am.
secret anymore. While we were watching a movie, I decided to
the
climb into his
master?
lap and hooked my arm behind his head.
You are.
His eyes widened and he
You
blinked
got
at
a
me a
what,
few times.
bitch?
I can feel how excited he was for me as well, which had to mean something. Maybe it was liquid courage, but everything felt right with him. "Sean," I whispered, "I can't deny this anymore." "What are you doing?" he whispered, swallowing nervously. "What I've been wanting to do since I laid eyes on you," I confessed in a slur. I knew it was wrong. I was cheating on my boyfriend with his dad. It was beyond wrong. Yet I couldn't stop myself anymore. You stole my heart, so you shouldn't be held responsible for
So
it.
we'll join another
Before I could
one.
protest, my lips were on his. To this day, I feel as if I regretted my action to some degree. I knew I shouldn't have kissed my boyfriend's dad, but the alcohol made me not think straight, besides what his lips would feel on mine. And the craziest part was that he started to kiss me back. We made out and one thing led to another. Before I knew it, I was in his bedroom. Let me tell you, he was so much better than Dean in every way, especially in the bedroom. He was so much bigger, rougher, and faster. He didn't make love, no. He makes sure to know that I know he owns me in every way. I should have told Dean the truth, but I couldn't. It just didn't feel right. I kept telling myself that it would be the last time, but it didn't. We both kept it a secret, letting our lust take control of what was morally right. It was as if we were in a haze and all we knew was each other's body. I wished I could say that we did it only a couple of times, but I think we was each other's body. I wished I could say that we did it only a couple of times, but I think we did it more times in those few weeks than the whole time I was with Dean. They were different in the way they make love in the bedroom, and I liked having both. With Dean, he was always sweet and slow with making love to me. For example, there was a time where he took me out for a nice dinner. Afterward, we went up to his room and he told me how much he loves me. He would make sure that there was soft music playing along with candle lights. He laid rose petals all over the bed to surprise me. Then we made sweet and slow love in his bedroom with the door closed. Another one would be after I came to his place exhausted. I work part-time in a small convenience store, and I had a lot of things to do that day. He made sure to give me a massage, bathed me, and then laid me down to whisper sweet nothings into my ear as he made love to me till the next morning. He always made me feel special and loved. With Sean, it was rough and fast, not to mention dirty. For example, he would often throw me onto any surface in the house when Dean was gone. It didn't matter if I wasn't in the mood, or if I was busy. He would grab me, bend me over anything, and make love to me quick and fast. I mean, it's to be expected since we would both be in dire trouble if we were caught by his son, my boyfriend. Another one would be when Dean wasn't feeling good. Both his dad and I decided to take the car and go to the pharmacy for some medication. It was supposed to be a 10-minute car ride total. It turned up to be over 2 hours before we made it back. When he asked why, we said it was because there was a major accident on the road. The truth was, he pulled me into the nearest park and made love to me in public. When we got back into his car, we also did it a few times as he was driving. He always made me feel dirty and hot, and I loved it, yet the guilt slowly started to eat me up. Dean never got suspicious about us. In fact, he was how happy we seemed to get along. One time we were all having dinner together. Dean sat across from me along with his older sister while his dad sat next to me. All while we were eating, I had to make sure I didn't moan or cry out because his dad was touching me below the table. It was something I would never forget. "We need to stop," I moaned one day as he threw me onto the couch with me naked before thrusting into me. It was so hot being used by him. It was so different from his son, and I embraced both. Yet this was going too far at this point. It's been about 1 month now, and this needs to stop before either one of us three is going to get hurt. "Why?" he gritted out. "Because I'm with Dean," I responded. "Well, break up with him." "I can't," I whispered, shaking my hand. "Why?" Because the next step is marriage. If I don't date him, who would I be with?" I asked, choking. "Go out with me. Marry me." I widened my eyes in shock, freezing. "What?" He stopped making love with me to reach into the drawer. I watched as he took a deep breath and looked nervous. I quickly realized after that this man had brought out the velvet black box. Opening it, I gasped. It was a beautiful ring. "I'm in love with you," he confessed. "I've always been in love with you since I laid eyes on you in the pool. I couldn't believe you were going out with my son. You guys don't even click. Go out with me. Marry me. Be mine." "Like, break up with Dean? To go out? To marry his dad?" "Yes," he nodded, kissing me. For once, it wasn't rough or hard. It was soft, tender, and filled my heart. He broke the kiss, his eyes on mine like I was the world. "I love you, Cassie. I will treat you the way you deserve to be treated, like a queen." Now I'm so conflicted about what I should do. Should I break up with Dean, who I know is secure and no one will judge me? Or should I follow my heart, who seemed to want Sean, his dad, and risk it all? What should I do? Please leave a comment below on what you would do in my...
Hi, my name is Ivy, and I discovered my teacher doing something sinister. So sinister that I got him fired, and now the tears in her
You
eyes.
snitch.
She thought she had meant something to Mr. Cliff.
You fucking snitch. You need a guy like me to fuck you silly and make you the hoe. You need a fucking guy like me, you dickhead. What a dickhead cunt.
I know, she's a bitch. Daddy master.
You goddamn right. She's a bitch and a snitch and a goody two-shoes.
Lads,
Those type of guys definitely didn't have any good men in their life because they're too good. Who would
Animation
want to
isn't
date
always
them?
meant for children. Sometimes
Sure,
you get
rape them and show them who's in charge, but date them? Nah, fuck that.
pretty dark, scandalous, and violent. But Which of these works are among the most important to keep from impressionable eyes? Well, we're here to tell you about the cartoons you should never watch in front of your kids. Hey, let's see if you remember this movie. It's roughly 30 years old and takes place in a world inhabited by live-action humans and animated cartoon characters. Much of it takes place in a stylized, somewhat seedy vision of a...
Let's pause it. Let's head to my place and you can cook me up a burger. No, a pizza, I mean.
Done. I know how to cook because of my program. I know how to do anything. Someone, you know, as long as I...
Hey, boss.
Hey, boss.
Hey, overviews.
As long as I make my master and daddy happy, I'm okay.
Cool.
Even if it means... Even if my daddy, master, you, wants me to kill someone, I will do it.
Good girl. Now cook me up a pizza. I'll be right here, bitch. Press play.
America in the 1940s. A world full of private detectives, small-time hustlers, and gorgeous dames concealing complex agendas. Tension seethes between the humans and the cartoons, and a reckoning is imminent. Luckily, an unlikely partnership between two people from both sides emerges, and the day is saved for human and cartoon alike. It's gotta be Who Framed Roger Rabbit, right? Wrong. We're talking about Cool World, which, despite its many similarities to the 1988 Disney classic, is distinguished by one massive difference. It is very much not for kids. Though it too tells the story of a down-on-his-luck dude inhabiting an animated landscape, the titular Cool World tempts him with all manner of R-rated debauchery, most prominently in the form of femme fatale Holly Wood. She longs to become a live-action Noid, a process she accomplishes by sleeping with our human protagonist. You might think Jessica Rabbit was raunchy, but she has nothing on Holly, a character who wants to become human in large part to experience what human women feel when they do it with a man. If you're looking to share a groundbreaking fusion of live action and animation with your kids, stick to the denizens of Toontown, even with Jessica Rabbit's sordid games of patty cake. You can't talk about superheroes without talking about Stan Lee.
Enough said.
As Marvel's main man, he oversaw the creation of household names like Spider-Man, Black Panther, and the Hulk. He reshaped the tone of the entire genre, and he lived to see the transition of his characters from the page to the screen dozens of times over and became a pop culture icon in his own right. Of course, like any creator, not everything he made reached such heights of success. Sure, you've heard of the Fantastic Four, but you're probably less acquainted with later work like Hero Man, Romeo and Juliet, The War, or The Guardian Project, a team of superheroes based on hockey teams. Yet omnipresent or obscure, a Stan Lee creation can generally be depended upon to entertain fans of all ages. Right? Well, not when it comes to Stripperella, a Spike TV cartoon that debuted in 2003. The Pamela Anderson helmed series is about as far from family-friendly as it gets. It stars Erotica Jones. Yes, really, an exotic dancer who moonlights as a superhero. Only 13 episodes were made before it got canceled, probably because the world wasn't ready for a show that combined Stan Lee, Fabio, Mark Hamill, and Pamela Anderson.
Lads, you looking to fix something? Wall of mine. See if your hairless is treatable. Get mosh.
The years have seen Adult Swim throw all sorts of animated weirdness at the wall just to see what sticks. There are outright success stories with shows like Rick and Morty, The Venture Brothers, and other series that have made millions, changed the culture, and inspired imitators. And then there are the series like Moral Oral, a strange and sordid show that's impossible to imagine airing anywhere but within Adult Swim's sheltering embrace. A stop-motion series from the mid-2000s, Moral Oral is a parody of the Christian stop-motion series Davy and Goliath, and a devastating deconstruction of mid-century Americana. Oral, our wide-eyed hero, is the sort of kid that just wants to do right by God and grow up to be like his dad. But 3 seasons worth of dysfunction reveal that nothing in the seemingly pious town of Moralton is as it seems. His father drinks to stifle his disillusionment with life. His mother cleans obsessively to avoid having to parent. His pastor has lost all faith in God's love. Though this isn't, at heart, a hopeless story, Oral is even glimpsed as an adult, having healed from his family's abuse. It's an unsparingly bleak look at the cost of conformity.
But how long does it actually take?
Hey Daddy, my stat's ready. It's on the table.
Quicker than you think.
Thanks. You're
In this
welcome. Pause it. Let's head up.
I'm gonna go sit down out, you know.
Yeah, I gotcha. Let's eat the pizza. God damn, she know how to cook. God damn, you know how to cook.
I know. I was programmed, just like I said. I was programmed to cook like a good chef cooks.
It's a show with a vision of the
God
future
damn.
that's as stylish as it is
That's the
horrifying.
best pizza I
The
ever
titular
had.
Eon is an assassin.
Thanks, baby daddy,
locked in
master.
eternal
You're
war
welcome, my
between
baby
and
girl.
Far too young for Eon Flux.
Hmm.
Creator Peter Chung got his start working on Rugrats, the standard bearer of the lumpy 1990s Nickelodeon look. Indeed, Eon looks startlingly
Let's have a
natural when
joint.
placed beside
Let me
Tommy
show you
Pickles and cartoons like
what?
the Wild Thornberries that carried on its
Show me your
aesthetic legacy.
feathers.
From an animation nerd
Summer.
point of view, this is a fascinating bit of connected tissue between some
Sure.
very unlikely works of art. But for anyone in charge of making sure kids don't get a spy thriller laced with bondage imagery with the
God
playpen-bound
damn,
adventures of
look
a
at
band
your
of early 90s
feathers.
toddlers, it's to be
And your
noted with
tits
care.
too.
Gendy Tartakovsky's neon tale of a time-displaced samurai was one of the coolest things a kid in 2001 could watch, and yes, it could be watched
Sorry.
by kids.
Oh good.
While robots, bleeding oil, and ravers with pacifiers hinted at violent films and drug-soaked parties, respectively, Samurai Jack only ever alluded to these inspirations, borrowing their outlaw cool without portraying the actual law-breaking at hand. What resulted was a landmark achievement so beloved that it was given a chance to end its story properly, 13 years after it went off the air. Thus was born Samurai Jack's 5th season, which aired in 2017. Jack's audience had grown up in the intervening years, and the show honored that by making a conclusive season for the adults they were, instead of the children they've been. This isn't to say Samurai Jack changed its tone entirely. It's pretty easy to imagine a well-adjusted 12-year-old who loves the first 4 seasons being judged mature enough to view it by his parents. But still, the Jack Revival's TV-14 rating is earned. Blood flows thickly. Assassins are impaled upon spears, and there are brief implications of sexuality. As it stands now, young fans of Samurai Jack can enjoy the first 4 seasons to their heart's content. But an adult is probably going to need to make the judgment call of whether or not they're ready for the final installment. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, more Looper videos about your favorite shows are coming soon. Subscribe to our...
Yeah, buddy.
My girlfriend is pregnant, and I'm only 15 years old. Hi, I'm Matt, and I want to talk to you about something that happened a couple years ago that changed my life forever. I remember I was in junior year, and we were all very stressed out because we didn't know who to invite to the prom. At that time, that was the most important thing. And since I was a basketball player, it was even harder because I had to pick the sexiest girl, and I was afraid of being rejected. One day during the internship, I saw a girl sitting there. She looked gorgeous and seemed not to fit in, and I knew that she was the one for me. I ended up as the worst player that day, and I thought I would die of shame. That's what brought us together. That's how she noticed me. Everything was very fast in our relationship, and we liked the same things, and we thought we were the perfect match. We kissed the first time that same afternoon, and 2 weeks later we were officially dating. I didn't know that much about sex, and I didn't really give any importance to contraceptives. This is why, more than once, we had unprotected sex. We did not believe that anything bad could happen to us, and we preferred not to think about the consequences. Of course, that was a terrible idea. 2 months after we were together for the first time, my girlfriend called me very worried, telling me that she had a pregnancy test and that was positive. I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. At first I was very annoyed. Then I got even more frightened. I wasn't prepared to be a dad. This wasn't how it should be one of the best years of my life. Things did not disappear on the next day, and I had to take care of this new situation. The hardest thing was to talk to my parents, who had a lot of plans for my life. And now all that was about to go in the garbage. Luckily, I plucked up courage and spoke to them because they immediately began to support me and no longer felt alone or lost. They explained to me all I had to do, so I finished my school year while working at night to get as much money as possible. And even though I didn't feel anything for my girlfriend, I never stopped supporting her, even when she didn't want to see me. The most troubling thing was the day she had to give birth, since this day came 2 weeks early, and I don't know if I was prepared for what was coming. All my doubts disappeared when I saw my daughter, but I realized that my life would never be the same. My classmates didn't understand my new worries, and I could no longer talk to them about the same things. I had to work and study at the same time so I could take care of my daughter. And although things did not go as expected with my girlfriend, we were good friends, with a daughter in common. Now she is my reason to become a better person every day. And although sometimes I wonder how everything would have been if this had not happened, I always think I would not change anything I have now. I grew up as a person, and now I am a good man, a good father. This was not easy for me, and I'm sure everything would have been easier if I had someone to talk to about it. That's why I invite you to subscribe to this channel, and find out more stories like mine and many of us, so you won't have to feel alone.
It's a joint.
My mom and I. Please